Zogar. I'm from a planetoid, a moon called Oberon. It's one of the moons of Uranus, or if you're a flat earther, from your anus. Um, we here on Oberon, we love to watch your interwebs, and in particular, I like to listen to Don Shipley's and his Buds 313 or 131 or whatever it is, and Navy SEALs experience. I would love to join the Navy SEALs, but they don't allow aliens from other planets to join the Navy. So my hopes were dashed there. It's kind of a bummer, but I get over it. We don't really have wars in Oberon. We've advanced far beyond that, where we just decided war is too messy and all that kind of crap. But watching Don Shipley, he exposes these Valor thieves. See, there are people who lie there on Earth. You guys like to lie and make stuff up, make stories, and sometimes, it's innocent. But there are the worst of the worst liars out there are Valor thieves. People who lie about their military service. Either they served in the military, and they lie about what they actually did, or they never served and made claims that they did. There's one of these UFO community people, and we observe them quite frequently because we want to find out how close they are to discovering who we are. And this particular man named Charles James Hall, he also goes by James Pope, but he wrote several books claiming he interacted with aliens and these tall white Nordique, whatever the hell they are, because they don't exist, because he's the one who came up with them, and his stories are completely fraudulent, as I will demonstrate in this YouTube video. This to prove that. Let's just introduce you to Charles Hall. Let me show you who he is.
And I'm delighted to speak with Charles Hall, who is a Vietnam vet. He has a master's in nuclear physics.
Well, thank you for having me on your show. I enlisted in the U.S. Air Force in July 1964, and making a very long story short, I became a weather observer. I was trained to be a weather observer. In the 60s, before the internet and computers, you had to have a person actually go out and measure the winds and look at the clouds and send in wind reports. My job, and plot up weather maps and so on. I was stationed at Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada, outside Las Vegas, Nevada, and from 1965 till May of 1967.
Now, unfortunately, the UFO community is mostly made up of conspiratards and idiots willing to believe any fantastical story that is told to them without ever checking out the sources. This guy was managed to write 6 books before a man named David Hilton and another man, Dan, I can't remember his last name, both did some research on him. I know David Hilton did extensive research just to find out of his enlistment records and found nothing. The fact is about the military, in watching Don Sharpley's videos, anybody who's ever served in the military is going to have some sort of record. Just like walking in the sand, you're going to leave footprints. If you're in the military, there's a paper trail, no matter who you are. It can be found. They're not going to classify someone's entire military career, especially a man who claimed he served in Vietnam and served anything. There would be some, they may classify a mission that somebody was on, but they wouldn't classify your entire military career. And if what he was doing was so secretive, why does he write 6 books about it and does lectures all over the country? It doesn't make any sense. This man is a stolen valor, and I don't just make a claim like that, especially on a friend's channel. without it being factual and without having facts to prove that James Hall is a liar. To put it bluntly, every claim that James Hall makes, whether it's Vietnam stories or his fantastical interaction with the aliens, it's all a bunch of crap. It's all a lie. And the very premise, the very foundation of his claims was that he was in the Air Force, and that has been proven totally 100% false.
This is an update on my research on the Charles Hall story and the tall white aliens. In August of this year, I filed a Freedom of Information Act request with the National Personnel Records Center in St. Louis, Missouri, to get a copy of Charles Hall's military records. As you can see on this form, I provided his full name, the date and place of his birth, and the dates of his enlistment and discharge from the Air Force. On November 23rd, I received this response stating that despite an extensive search of all available record sources, they were unable to locate any of his records or verify his military service.
They never existed in the military. If they didn't exist, they didn't exist. They never were in the military. There's people that say, well, he claims his name was Charles Hope. But if you look at his videos, he shows his little papers of these awards, which are just these little things you can get at Kiko's copies. These little award things. He says, see, this is an award I won in Vietnam, and it says Charles Hall on it. And he shows this picture of his boot camp picture. It says Charles Hall on it. No, he never served in the military ever. So everything he says, this letter is proof, 100% proof, irrefutable proof that Charles Hall is a Valor thief. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Hall is a Valor thief. He's not some expert in extraterrestrials that goes out and makes tons of money off his books and his lectures. It goes to foreign countries and is just an absolute liar. If this was all true, how come he's the only one that came forward with this information? He's just making a profit off of people who are extremely gullible, who believe all his crap, and sorry about your luck, as Mr. Von Helton would say. This guy is a fraud. And if you noticed, in 2011, they passed a law making it illegal for stolen valor, the Stolen Valor Act of 2011, where if you make a profit or attempt to make money from stolen valor claims, that it is a federal offense. That's why after 2011, he only has his wife speak for him. But this guy needs to be locked up, if you ask me. He's a fraud. He's taken people for a ride. He's gotten money from people who actually believed his crap. And he discredited us aliens in his stupidity. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And this is Zogar the Alien. And I'm out of here. I'm going back up to my planet, my moon planet. All righty.